Here's a summary of the most important headlines from this week. First Arima draw in Quebec since start of pandemic. It's business as usual in Quebec as the province's immigration ministry as 7 candidates were invited to apply for a Quebec Selection Certificate (CSQ). Candidates invited had submitted an expression of interest with the ministry before December 17, 2019. BC issues 320 invitations in latest PNP. British Columbia has invited 320 candidates to apply for a provincial nomination for permanent residence in the latest Provincial Nominee Program (PNP) draw on July 14. Candidates were invited through the Express Entry BC, EEBC, and Skills Immigration categories. Invited candidates had a minimum provincial score of between 76 and 98, depending on the category. Candidates interested in applying through the EEBC are required to have a Federal Express Entry profile as well as a Skills Immigration Registration System (SIRS) profile. Candidates interested in applying through Skills Immigration are only required to register through the SIRS. Canada's IRCC helps international students with new changes. Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada (IRCC) announced significant changes that will help international students resume their studies in Canada. Completed study permit applications will be processed quicker for those who have submitted their application online. Canada is also introducing a temporary pre-approval system to help international students who are currently unable to obtain certain required documents, but who would want to begin their studies online this fall. Once a candidate is pre-approved, they can begin their studies online. The time spent studying online will count towards future eligibility for the Postgraduate Work Permit (PGWP) program. Almost 1 million Canada jobs created in June. The Canadian labour market is recovering. June saw a surge in jobs as 953,000 entered the job market. In May, that number was 290,000, bringing that up to 1.24 million. After the coronavirus-related lockdowns and restrictions, almost 3 million people lost their jobs. This means that the last 2 months alone saw the labour market recover by a staggering 40% and Canada's unemployment rate continues to drop. 2 PNP draws this month in pay. Earlier this month, the Prince Edward Island Provincial Nominee Program (PAY PNP) invited 8 Labour Impact and Express Entry candidates to apply for a provincial nomination. On July 16, 157 candidates were invited in those categories and 29 business impact candidates were also invited. This brings up the total candidates invited this month to 194. Biometrics no longer needed for temporary residence applicants in Canada. Temporary residence applicants in Canada will no longer be required to provide their biometrics. This means that candidates can apply for study permits, work permits or visitor visas, extend or restore study permits, work permits or visitor visas, apply for a temporary resident permit. If the online system prompts a user to pay for the biometrics, he or she does not need to do so. If a user has already paid the biometrics fee, it will be refunded once the application is processed. Details for latest Manitoba PNP draw. Manitoba has issued 174 letters of advice to apply law, prompting candidates to apply for a provincial nomination for permanent residence in Canada. These letters were issued to candidates under the Skilled Workers in Manitoba stream, the Skilled Workers Overseas stream and the International Education stream. This draw means that Manitoba has issued a total of 2,634 laws this year. Subscribe to this channel for more updates.